there is some early signs that the inflation number, which is about to be released in the next couple of days, which will feed into the decision-making of the Reserve Bank, is going to be where we have long needed it to be, between the 2 and 3% margin. But remember, it's not just a one-off sugar hit, but the patience of the federal political gallery do not remember last month, last year, the year before, all the other resets, all the other changes. They're going to lock in that when inflation lands at the number that they know the Reserve Bank is looking for, no matter how artificially it is arrived at because of the billions of dollars that are being spent to artificially hide the increases of power prices, when the rates come out tomorrow, it seems like the Treasurer has got a preview and he has already started doing the victory dance.
Now, when we came to office, inflation had a 6 in front of it and it was rising. Now inflation has a 2 in front of it, and that is a demonstration of that progress.
So get ready. Mission accomplished. And in fact, from the very same people who told us that it was mission accomplished, they are all prepared to run the line that everything is okay, everything is awesome, it is time for the Reserve Bank to start cutting interest rates. Now, it is time for the Reserve Bank to start cutting interest rates because we have been in a per capita recession for the best part of, what, 7 quarters in a row, I think it is? It's been a huge period of time where we, the average people, have gone backwards. The living standards are at 1949. This government is responsible. This government promised to change it. This government should be punished for it. Oh, but get ready. Get ready for the media to say that just because prices are going up by a little less than they previously went up, then magically the assumption is that we're all too stupid to know the difference between what the cost of everything was before this bloke became Prime Minister and the cost of everything now that he is Prime Minister and has had a full term to screw up the joint. Perfect example. How much extra it costs to pay off the family home. A third of Australians are trying to pay off a house. More than that are trying to pay off their own house. And once you start to throw in the people that are paying off an investment property, the majority of people in Australia care about what is happening when it comes to interest rates. And the West Australian did a little thing on the average home loan in Western Australia, which is about $400,000, many $1,000 lower than, say, what might be happening in Sydney, Melbourne or Brisbane. But how's this? About $60,000 is how much extra interest you have had to pay since this mob came to power. That's your interest repayments. It works out at the best part of almost $40,000 increase since this bloke came to power. Do your sums, divide it by 12, divide it by 6, divide it in whichever way you want. Having to find an extra $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, depending on where you are and how much you're paying off your house, is a disgrace. You didn't have the money then, you don't have the money now. And yes, while there has not been a huge number of people that are whacking the for sale sign up because they can't pay for the roof over their head anymore, you know, in your suburb, there are plenty more places for sale than were a couple of years ago, even when the interest rates were as low as they were. They said it was a cost of living crisis and the ultimate example of why we needed to change the government 3 years ago. Well, guess what? 3 years later, more people cut back on Christmas than they did the year before or the year before that. More people are worried about how they're going to pay for their kids to go to school, and more people are having to find tens of thousands of dollars in what limited wages they actually have, because unless you're a public servant, unless you're a politician, you have not got the pay rise that matches the increase in your costs from interest rates, which in part are because of government spending. Australia must remember this. You have to remind your family members of this. Show that promise again from Albo from a couple of years ago. I want you, if you can, to pick up your phone right now. I'll give you a couple of seconds. Pick up the phone, lean in and take a photo of the Albo promise that everything would be lower under a Labor government. I want you to keep this one nice and close. You can go and Google image it if you want, but the cost of everything is going up and a Labor government will lower the cost of living. I'll give you a couple of seconds here, all right, everyone? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, take the photo. Post it online, remind your family that that was the promise. Did this happen? No. 275 by 2025? No. Everything else go up? Yes.